Hey everybody. Hey everybody. It's Liz. I know this is a surprise. I thought I would do a special little Satellite Sisters pop up here. Um, Again, I'm getting the message that my internet connection isn't good, but I think it is. So I'm just sticking with it. So, yes, surprise. I wanted to do a little Satellite Sisters pop up brought to you by Cooking with Liz because normally in a new year, it's the first Tuesday of the new year. Normally you'd be getting the first show from us, the first Satellite Sisters episode. And as you probably noticed by now, we didn't do one. Our first episode is next Tuesday. And it's because after 20 years of doing this, or say 15 years of the podcast, we realized, well, if you're doing a show on the first Tuesday of the year, then it means you have to work over New Year's weekend. And we didn't really, after all these years, we decided we didn't really want to do that. But we have actually been working over the whole holiday. You may have noticed that our podcast is on a new platform. Things are starting to look a little bit different. We're getting everything all shaped up for next week. And next week we'll explain. But I did have a very special surprise. Well, surprise to me, like pop-up surprise unboxing event that I wanted to do because I just got a very special Christmas gift from one of you. Or not even a Christmas gift. I'm about to find out what kind of gift it is. But you may recall, since the very early years of Cooking with Liz, the early years, was that 2 years ago? Was that 200 years ago? When did the current unpleasantness start? Anyway, whenever that started, I introduced you to my only real cooking implement that I had here in the Cooking with Liz kitchen, which was, of course, the Betty. And, it was pretty much all I had. I've dramatically expanded my supplies since then. But the Betty is the stalwart in my kitchen. And then my college roommate, who of course is always watching, she realized she had one of these at her house. So what are these? Are these salad tongs? Are these just whatever? So I had these two pieces of Betty paraphernalia that I was very proud of and used a lot. I mentioned this quite a bit on Cooking with Liz. And then out of the blue, Heidi Marie, longtime Satellite Sisters, member of the group, listener to the podcast, Heidi Marie put in the comments that your daughter-in-law, right, Heidi Marie? Your daughter-in-law runs the marketing team for the Betty Crocker team, which, that was just super exciting. So I put it out there. I know I can't meet Betty, but some kind of relationship with Betty Crocker, seems right up my alley. So then out of the blue the other day, you'll never believe what I got in the mail. First, it was in a big box. I was going to not even unbox the box before I did this for you, but then I wanted to just get rid of the big box. But inside the big box, baby, apparently Betty Crocker is turning 100 years old this year, and I am in on the Betty action. So, yes, I got this package. It said General Mills right on the outside of it. I got so excited Heidi, I cannot thank you enough. When I saw that it was from General Mills, I was like, okay, Liz, Cooking with Liz is in the big time now when General Mills is mailing you things. But I didn't want to open the package until you could share with me the excitement. So here we go. I'm going to put this down and we'll see what's happening with the Betty people. And okay, so here we go. I'm going to slide this off. Very nice box, Betty people. The whole thing. First class all the way, as you would expect from General Mills. So, okay, taking this off. Okay, just digging the polka dots totally. Now, let me open this. So now, the real unboxing. Okay, here we go. Maker's gonna bake. Call me Betty Crocker. Oh my God, this is hilarious. So, cheers to 100 years. We're celebrating 100 years of Betty Crocker, 100 years of inspiring makers to do things their way. Well, I'm not so sure doing things my way is the best way Betty people. But I understand what you're going for here. That's why we're calling on all of you to celebrate the 100th birthday by making a creation of your own. Celebrate a moment, big or small, whether it's a half birthday or a rainy day. Well, yeah, got a lot of rainy days. Those are behind me now. And we hope this package has everything you need to let your inner Betty shine. Oh my God. Thank you for trusting us with your birthday celebrations, blah, 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 blah. There's no one we'd rather celebrate with. Well, back at you, Betty people. Back at you. Call me Betty Crocker. So, all right, let's see what else is in here. So that's, that's very exciting. Oh, look. Okay. Ooh, stylish, Betty people. Look, a brand new spoon. It's so cool it doesn't even have to say Betty Crocker on it anymore. It's just that Betty Crocker red. So what does this say? It's dishwasher safe. Okay, thank you, Betty people, for that. This looks like the big part of the gift here. Betty Crocker Best 100. Wow, 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 wow. And look, a picture of all the Bettys. And let's see, here's one thing I don't know, Betty people. Is this all about baking? Baking, oh no, there are main dishes. There are cookies, bars, and candies, desserts, quick breads. Celebrate main dishes. Okay. Betty Crocker's Cooking School of the Air. What is that? 136. Hey, oh, Meat Lovers Pizza, 136. Okay, I feel, look at that. Apparently, Betty was at this even before Cooking with Liz was here doing this. So slow cooker pulled pork barbecue sandwiches. Anyway, okay. So favorite recipes from America's most trusted cook. You bet, Betty people. Okay, but then there's more in here. Look, 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 look. They sent birthday party balloons. Very nice, very nice. Birthday party candles. So there's one birthday candle that says happy birthday. So very, oh, look at these nice, okay, that's the one big candle, and then these nice gold tapered candles. 12 birthday candles. Okay, Betty's 100, but we're only going to light 12 candles. Ladies, we understand. And then, oh, look. Okay, decorations. Sprinkles. Sprinkles. These are also called sprinkles. And what do we have here? This is writing gel in red. Okay. This is very unexpected, Betty people, but I feel 100% inspired, as you wanted me to. Because one thing we've always said, like Lian and Julie, they know how to cook. Our mother was a great cook. But nobody in my family bakes. So I had been thinking, when's it going to be time for the Liz of Cooking with Liz to kind of kick it up a notch, step outside of the family boundaries, and maybe try baking something. So this could be, Betty people, this could be exactly what the inspiration that I need to actually try to bake something. What do you think? Oh, and you know what? Okay, here's the thing. You know how I told you I was making that Feast of the Seven Fishes pie for Christmas? It was great. It was really delicious. But one of the really good things is I bought myself a nice new dish from, to make the pie in. So look at this beautiful piece of Le Creuset that I bought myself for the fish pie. So now that I have all this Betty finalia, I'm thinking, what can I make? What's something I should bake in my new beautiful yellow Le Creuset dish? I'm going to look through the Betty book and see. I bet there are many good suggestions in here, but it might be time to actually bake it. Ooh, double butterscotch brownies. You can't go wrong with something like that. So this was one of the first recipes ever developed by our very extensive Betty Crocker Kitchens recipe database. Okay. Well, I certainly don't have a database, but now I have Betty and all the Betty people. So, okay. This is a joint challenge, people. If I was going to bake something, I'm going to look through the nice new book I got. What would you suggest? I don't know when I'm going to do this. We're very busy. As I said, behind the scenes at Satellite Sisters, it's been super busy. As you can see, I haven't even had time to take my Christmas lights down. So what do you think I should make? Something that I would never have made in a previous lifetime, and but would be in the spirit of Betty Crocker turning 100. So you can put any suggestions you have here in the comments. I see some of you there right now. Oh, look at you. Okay, Susan, hello. Very nice that people, okay, what was that? Bake a funfetti pinata cake? I don't even know. I've never even heard those words. Okay, Bridget is here. Melanie is here. She's had the urge to learn to bake bread. Yeah, easy recipes of crisp. Okay, that's good. That's a good idea. Well, I'm going to leave the comments here. You can put whatever you want in the comments. And then maybe by next Tuesday show, a week from today. So the Tuesday the 11th is when Satellite Sisters will have our first 2022 show. And then maybe by then I will have decided what I'm going to make this month in the spirit of Betty and to celebrate the Betty Crocker birthday. So any suggestions you have, put them in the comments here. If you've got recipes, go for it. But I might try to stick to one of Betty's recipes, something that has been tested in the test kitchens. Lian's actually been to those General Mills test kitchens, but of course not me. So anyway, so this is it. I just wanted to pop up and say we are here. We're back here doing our thing, getting ready for 2022. Lian posted, as you could see, we're looking for people's mottos and things for 2022. I'm glad I had an extra week because I don't have one yet. But, because I do have, remember, I've got this. This was Dr. Forney's sort of motto for civility. If we could just all try to be strong, calm, and kind. And I put this in my Instagram stories the other day, and Beth, who is the one who made it for me, this is needle pointed or something. I don't know what that's called, Beth. But anyway, Beth made this for me and sent this to me, and she noticed it was in my stories, and she thanked me like, oh my God, I always have this on display in my home. So in the spirit of strong, calm, kind, I think I got to come up with some kind of next step for 2022. I don't think producer Lian is going to let me get away with having the same motto every year for years on end. So I need the inspiration of strong, calm, kind, and maybe the inspiration of Betty. Maybe that's the whole idea is Maker's gotta bake. Maybe that's it. Okay, so that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to be a little surprised here too, because sometimes it does get a little depressing after the holidays are over and January starts. You're like, oh man, it's going to be a long haul now, right? I think we're all starting to feel that a little bit. So that's another reason why I just leave my lights up. Jane says, bake something inspiring. Well, suggestions. So that's really it. I'm gonna let you go. It's 5 o'clock at night here, 5:15. My lights are still up, and I am still trying to use up. I had that big supply of cranberry juice that I bought for the wrap party. Haven't used up all the cranberry juice yet, but that's a nice kind of Betty Crocker red, I thought. So anyway. So we look forward, all the Satellite Sisters look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, the 11th of January. Hope you had great holidays and that everyone's back at it, plugging away, as Edna Dolan would say, and Lian quoted her in the finale. So plugging away, and I will just leave you now, of course, with peace and sauce. Peace and sauce. See you on the 11th, or hear you on the 11th, or you'll hear us on the